Welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV. Once again with New Game Plus, because part of this next episode was actually missing. Probably not much, just the start of a dialogue, but yeah. Anyway, I don't know. Forgive me, this is neither the time nor the place for idle introspection. The Knights can apprise Lord Edmund of our success, and we, the Lord Commander. More importantly, I should like to see if my sister's condition has improved. You may take a moment for yourself if you wish. I will be at the congregation. Please, because they had not yet enveloped taking me with the character to the other map. I don't know. Why are we waiting outside? There you are. Shall we make our report? Yes, of course. It brings me joy to see you safely return to us, Serenia. What news from Zelvatol? Yeah. And we are not too late. On behalf of Ixal, I offer you my deepest thanks. As for we who remained behind, Mistress Ristola has been tending to Mistress Alisaie in your absence, and I'm pleased to report that she has regained consciousness. I imagine you have many questions, especially given your recent encounter with Warriors of Darkness. I know I do. Come, let us show you to her room. Do not worry, her condition is much improved. She's a resilient one, much like her brother.
Alisaie, how are you feeling?
Well enough, brother. Thanks to the kindness of our hosts. They told me you had departed for Zelfatol while I was still abed. I slept much better knowing that. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I take it your mission was a success.
It was.
As if we needed any further confirmation that they are in league with the Ascians. But to save another world? I think not.
I too thought his story fanciful at first. But it is possible there may be a kernel of truth in all of this. At the very least, none of his claims contradict the word's account.
You were following these people, Alisaie. Why?
During my travels, I had oft enjoyed tales of the Scions and their exploits. But after a time, I began to hear whispers of a gifted and theretofore unknown band of adventurers. Adventurers who had supposedly sworn to travel the realm slaying primals in the Scion's stead.
The Warriors of Darkness. And in the course of investigating these rumors, you stumbled upon the Ascians' involvement.
Yes, exactly.
Forgive me, but if these Warriors of Darkness mean to bring about another calamity, to what end do they hunt primals?
To escalate the situation. We had that in the extreme trials for ARR, that the Ascians were quite happy with us beating the primals over and over again, because that would escalate the situation further.
To prompt an escalation.
See?
To deepen the beast tribe's feelings of helplessness and despair, and thereby drive them to summon ever more powerful gods. And lest we forget, these events do not occur in isolation. With their patron deities being slain left and right, the news of man's victory over Nidhogg must surely have sown panic in the minds of the beastmen. 'Tis no wonder they wish to defend themselves.
Power answered with greater power. Death with more death. A vicious cycle fueled by fear and hatred. I know it's like all too well.
Indeed. The Ascians sow discord and desperation, and the Warriors of Darkness reap the harvest. Yet that is not the extent of their ambitions. The Ascian himself observed that once the powerless realize that the old gods have failed them, they will have little recourse but to look to a new one.
We cannot let that happen.
It should come as no surprise, but Alisaie and I have uncovered evidence that the Ascians have been manipulating certain parties to ensure that a constant stream of crystals flows into the hands of the beast tribes.
Not good.
If we sever these supply lines, we should at least be able to slow the escalation.
Okay.
Agreed. Kral and I shall journey to Zelphatol and learn what we can of the Ixal's source.
Then I, for my part, pledge to lead a similar investigation into the origin of the Nath supply.
Sir Emmerich?
As a member of the Eorzean Alliance, Ishgard is honor bound to play an active role in maintaining the security of the realm. You might also say that I have some personal motivation, given the Ascians' dealings with my father.
Also, it would help the peace talks with the dragons if you mitigate the threat of Ravana to the Dravanians.
However, I make no secret of the fact that my knowledge of primal beings is scant at best. As such, I should be most grateful if one of your order were to assist me.
Allow me, Sir Emmerich. I have dealt with the Nath before.
Let us consult with Urianger then. Given his dedication to the study of primal beings, I should be surprised if he could not tell us something of value.
Allow me to accompany you, brother. And before you think to refuse, know that I am not the girl I once was. I shall not be a burden. You have my word.
But Alisaie, you... You are more than welcome. After all, it was you who set us upon this path.
Wait a minute. I'm afraid I can't allow you to leave just yet. Not until you try on the new outfit I prepared for you.
After all, they all need a new one. It was good of you to accompany my sister to her foray into the coils. The knowledge that you were with her did much to put my mind at rest. Though I know not what she found at the end of her search, Dex and Sinis did inform me that she had taken to the road on her own, apparently on a journey of self-discovery. And what came of that I can only speculate. I'm glad our paths crossed regardless. My apologies for keeping you waiting. Looks very good. Right then, shall we be off? Tataru never ceases to impress, though for a moment I feared she might furnish you with an identical outfit. Praise for 12 she did not. Mother and father were forever too fond of making us wear matching clothes. Do you remember the time at the stadium when that girl of yours crept up behind me in the hall and whispered, "Sister, please, she was not my..." Can we not have this discussion in front of the Warrior of Light? So be it. Another time, perhaps. I should thank you again for your assistance with my expedition, Serenia. Though we left matters somewhat unfinished. Yes, I still haven't finished Bahamut's coils. I'm nevertheless prepared to focus on the task at hand and aid you to the fullest extent of my ability. As you helped me to brave a coil, so too will I help you to defeat the Warriors of Darkness. I've been meaning to ask about the carriage. Ah yes, the carriage that so fortuitously arrived to spirit us away from Ul'dah after the banquet. The driver informed me that I had my sister to thank for his presence in Ul'dah. How did you know to send help? Oh, drunken brassblades are even less discreet than sober ones. Unfortunately, by the time I learned of the plot, it was too late to do anything more. Frankly, I'm still amazed Bremont managed to find you. New garments aside, I must say that you seem different, more resolute when we last met. You have the look of a woman who is ready to fight for the future of Eorzea. To the extent of my abilities, perhaps, but I have no delusions of grandeur, nor will I pretend to have found myself or any such thing. I'm here today because I would regret if I went. That's all. Fair enough. Let us depart for the Waking Sands then and see if Urianger can be of assistance. Let's return to the Waking Sands then. Urianger, apologies for calling upon you unannounced. Why, Master Alphino, would if the scholar had been seen fit to grant me knowledge of thy coming, what bringeth thee and thine here this day? The warriors of darkness have returned. Pray, allow us to explain. I too have heard tales in recent days of primal beings rising up, only to be cast down by forces unknown. Alas, as thou didst observe, this serveth but to spur the beast tribes to pursue their goal with redoubled fervor. We have two objectives at this time: to identify and remove the source of the beast tribe's crystals, and to take direct action to prevent any further summoning rituals from reaching completion. The second is easier said than done, of course. While we were fortunate enough to learn of the Ixal's plans before they came to fruition, I should be surprised if the warriors of darkness and the Ascians did not have similar designs elsewhere, of which we have no knowledge. Thou wert wise to come hither, for this very day did I receive tidings most troubling from across the Strait of Moltor. Ogomoro stirreth, and there are whispers that the Lord of Crags nearest his return. Mere rumors, mark thou, but in light of thine own discoveries, thou canst ill afford to turn a deaf ear to their claims. Aye, we must ascertain the truth of the matter for ourselves. Let us consult with the Maelstrom forces stationed at Camp Overlook, Serenia. Thank you for your counsel, Urianger. Pray inform us should you learn aught else. I shall. If I may, brother. Urianger, is there anything else you would like to say? Alisaie? If not, then never mind. I only ask because you're normally rather more verbose. Nothing to add? Very well. Ere we depart, I wish to make a request. The warriors of darkness spoke of how the Ardor had the power to break down the barriers between planes. The warriors of darkness spoke of how the Ardor had the power to break down the barriers between planes, that our worlds might be rejoined. I would ask that you research this for us. Being nowhere near as well read as you, I'm sure I wouldn't know where to begin. That said, I've heard tell of a promising tome, the Garun Oracles. Maybe you could start there? She knows. By thy leave. Camp Overlook, was it? Very well. Okay, Alisaie, Camp Overlook. And Commander Bloodin. 7, at this rate I have to appeal to Mainstore Command for reinforcements. Huh? Whatever it is, I don't want any. Well, fancy that. Just when my kobold problems look like coming to a head, the Scions of the Seventh Dawn turn up, itching to pitch in. Bloody brilliant timing is what it is. Right then, let's get to it. So our friendly neighbors in Gorgomoro have got much more aggressive of late, just as you said. Matter of fact, our scout spotted one sniffing about the stores just now, likely going to make off with an armful of crystals. I'll be damned if I'm about to let that happen. Lend a hand to help us search a camp for the little bugger, would you? You spoken with a commander then? Our maelstrom friend seems notably more agitated than when we first arrived. Do you happen to know why that might be? A kobold in the camp, you say? That would appear to collaborate with Urianger's information, yes. But to be so reckless as to infiltrate a maelstrom camp and draw attention to their efforts is passing strange. Well, there will be time to think on this later. For the present, we must do everything in our power to prevent Titan summoning, and that means finding and questioning this kobold. Here. There's a kobold leaf. Ah. Down, yep. So stay back, away, far back. I'm not a. It's no use, pointless, hopeless, no use. Jump from down here. That was before, right? Before we could fly. But please don't hurt me. I only wish to talk. Yes, yes, just talk. Ah! This was a stupid plan. Stupid. But if I don't tell no one, then everyone will. She found me again. What to do? I come in peace, only to talk. Speak, say, talk. So please do not hurt me. So this is our wily kobold infiltrator, is it? No wonder the soldiers were on edge. He could well have given one a bruised knee. Oh, sir, we've got him. Fine work, Scions. So, little one, thought you could sneak into my camp, did you? Plotting to steal my crystals, were you? No, I came to talk, to ask for help. But when my soldiers saw me, they drew their weapons and shouted, and I... No. Let us all take a deep breath and discuss this like civilized, individuals. What's your name, child? Pigman Gabu of the 620th Order. At least I will be a pigman one day. Well met, Gabu. I'm Alfino, and this is my sister Alisaie. Serenia, the woman who found you, is our friend, and now that you know our names, we can be friends too. Now, Commander Blurden here thinks you wanted to take his crystals, Gabu, but you said you came to ask for help. Why to us and not to your own people? What happened, Gabu? Can you tell us? No one's going to hurt you, alright? Not while we're here, I promise. The Patriarch, he's... The Patriarch is going to summon the Great Father again. You have to stop him. Beat him, fight him, stop him. Gabu's parents said they didn't want it, along with many others, but the Patriarch wouldn't listen. He was so angry, raging, fuming, angry. He said that if they didn't have iron in their hearts, they would serve as coke for the furnace. And then the guard took my parents and the others away, and I haven't seen any of them since. Coke for the furnace? I did not want to believe it, but I have heard tales of foci fashioned from the bones of beastmen, which worshippers use in the rituals, hoping to summon more powerful incarnations of their gods. That too is from the extreme trials. By the 12, that's sickening. No one listens to Gabu, no matter how much he cries, pleads, begs, cries. They do not listen, only talk about punishing their overdwellers and praising the Great Father. Gabu loves the Great Father, but he loves his parents too, so please, help Gabu stop the Patriarch and save his parents. Commander, advise Maelstrom Command that Titan's summoning is imminent. Should the worst come to the worst, we will require their support. Time being of the essence, we three will attempt to infiltrate the Kobold stronghold, secure their crystals and free the prisoners. If you're sure. You'll forgive me if I don't seem optimistic. We'll make ready, just in case. Okay. I tried talking to the others, but they wouldn't listen. So even though I was afraid, I came here. Do you know that there are collectors who will pay a fortune for Beastman ritual artifact? It's perverse. I know. I turned at least one set of artifacts in for items at Voivena's, so she could sell them. I have faith that we may stop the ritual. We would surely have detected the associated etheric disturbance had Titan manifested already. But I cannot speak for the prisoners. 12 of mercy, that they would even contemplate sacrificing their own flesh and blood? Brothers and sisters? Mothers and fathers? Time is of the essence. We must see what else Gabu knows and formulate a plan without further delay. And I think this is a good point to end this episode and continue this thing with Gabu next time. Until then, I'm Mace and don't get lost.